Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Savadious here for the first time with my reaction video. I talked to DM privately and I said, DM, can I do a reaction video? He was like, sure, bro. Okay, so here we are. This is something I've been talking to my friends about for ages. As a matter of fact, one of the best barbarians on my server, Inting Almighty, he let me know that, bro, all the stuff you're doing in the Battleground, it doesn't matter. And I'm like, what do you mean, bro? He's like, your resonance is winning the games for you. Your resonance is getting points for you, not you. You can win a game and you will gain points. You can lose a game and you will also gain points. That's based on your resonance. Some of my videos in the past, I was telling you, hey, look, I lost a game. I participated a lot and I gained points. It wasn't me. It was my resonance getting these points for me. So let's go ahead and see it from Darth Microtransaction himself. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Here, let's see. Let's see.
We
Here
have
he is.
an interesting topic today. This is about something that you're going to be seeing on the front page of Diablo Immortal, but it is not the first time it has made it to the front page of this subreddit. If you look here, there's a PSA saying, if you stop spending, you will likely be forced in a Battleground losing streak by the matchmaking system. Now, he goes on to mention some anecdotal experience in his own personal stuff, which doesn't really matter, like his own win rate doesn't really matter in the terms of the talking point of this conversation. However, he does link to a patent, which is quite interesting.
Wow, so it looks like Blizzard has a patent on this system. Basically, the programming they have says if you spend money, you will get points in the Battleground. If you don't spend money, you will get less points. That's exactly what Inting Almighty said when he used to play with Fatal Paladin, Rosaline, all the whales on my server, even though Inting wasn't exactly a whale. He was one of the top guys there. So they all knew this from the beginning. You have to spend money and it automatically pushes you up to legend status. So in the past, you remember guys, I opened a bunch of gems. I'm like, oh, look at this legendary. Wow, look guys, I got so good in the Battleground. I wasn't good. My resonance was giving me the points. I was literally just loading the Battleground, standing there. Even when I lose, I still moved up the ranks. Let's go ahead and see what more he got to say about this.
I myself, I'm going to pull up a video here, have covered, literally back in 2021, I covered this with a FIFA patent talking about matchmaking patents and how it is influenced by microtransactions. You see, even 7 months ago, you will be able to find a Reddit post saying, today I learned Blizzard has a patent pending that uses unbalanced matchmaking to influence spending. This applies to all Blizzard games, not just Diablo Immortal. If you scroll down further, you're going to see an abstract from the actual article, or I should say from the patent itself, saying a system and method is provided that drives microtransactions in multiplayer video games. The system may include a microtransaction, arrange matches to influence game-related.
Okay, listen, I'm going to translate that for you guys. What that says is they have in Diablo Immortal a system in place. So it will make you win more when you spend money. So it's like, hey, I'm not winning. What do I do? Oh, I got to buy a new legendary gem. You buy that gem, you start winning more. The correlation is there. It's proven now. It's not just me talking hot air. Darth Microtransaction backs it up. Reddit is backing it up. The people I talked to in the past are backing it up. When you scroll back to some of my earlier videos, I did a test to see if it made a difference. People, you got to spend money to win money. Let's continue.
Purchases. You see, there's one thing critically important about this. And for me, that is the matchmaking algorithm is sacred in PvP games. When you're playing a game that has a player versus player environment, the most important determining factor for that environment is being able to differentiate the skill level. It is not a very immersive PvP environment when you can't tell who's a very good player. It is also not a very good PvP environment when you cannot tell who should be at the top rank. You see, if there's somebody at the top rank, but you know for the fact the only reason they're at the top rank is because they have spent money, it invalidates everyone else's enjoyment of the PvP match.
So yeah, a lot of us have been saying this. I am not one of them. A lot of people are saying they're only winning because they're whales. Strip away all of their stuff and I can spank them. Probably true, but Blizzard has to reward the whale some way. What will be your incentive to whale? if you're just a plain Jane and you get smacked around by everyone else and you don't move up in the ranks. So don't blame them. They have to do this in order to make their monetization work. So you don't spend your, what is it called? The pay to win? No. The free to play people, FTP, might have a harder time moving up. People, drop me a note. How many free to play players do you know who are legend status? Drop me a note and let me know some of them so we can actually do some tests. But this has already been proven by Darth Microtransaction, by the whales on my server as well. What I would like to see, Darth might mention this later in his video, what I would like to see is a balanced arena. Blizzard has it in their other games, World of Warcraft, a lot of the other ones, where you go there and you can't well. You're just stripped down like a level 20 versus a level 20, and that's all you got. We need that in Diablo Immortal. Let the whales well out. Give us a balanced arena so we can actually see who's really good without swiping. But anyway, you got to drive the swiping. Got to say like it is. Let's go ahead and continue.
Just seems fairly obvious, but knowing for a fact that I will get worse people on the other team because I paid doesn't really help. Think of it this way. Why would it be any different than, let's say you were in a high school basketball team and your coach paid the other coach to make some of the people sit on the bench? It's basically the same thing. It's literally determining who you're playing against on that court based upon how much money you have spent. So we eventually rise up in situations like this where people are not exactly satisfied with the way the game works.
Yeah, so I'm sure you've been in a Battleground. You get like a losing streak, right? You get out there and you're like, this is not even at all. We just got completely spanked. You know why? Because all the other people were paying, so it grouped them together. And then the people who weren't paying it grouped them in another group. And you're like playing dodgeball against people who are like 5 grades lower than you. We've all seen that happen in the arena, people. I've seen it happen to me as well. And we're like, what kind of even matchmaking is this? Well, they're patent, and from what DM is saying, it's not even, and it's not even on purpose. You got to reward the people who pay. Give them some system and some reason to continue to pay. But anyway, once again, that's just more of a reason to give us a balanced arena in the future. Let them go with this. Add another balanced arena. Cap it somehow to give the regular people who are not wailing out or not at least spending some reason to see who's who when it comes to battles. All right, let's go ahead. Let's see.
And now that they know for a fact there's a patent and it doesn't explicitly tell you exactly how the algorithm is going to work in the game you play, it's fair to assume that, hey, I didn't spend money this month. Maybe they're making me lose on purpose.
Exactly.
You see, it takes the trust away from the PvP. It makes it impossible for you to determine, am I the reason
Not really taking the trust. You got to reward the whales.
Something to get mad at and continue to be mad at. Instead of focusing on the game and getting better, you're focusing on, this is bullshit. This is the reason I'm losing. And it takes away the percentage of people that are going to enjoy the match.
I'm like
but
in the
for
way.
Diablo more, though,
like in the way. We need to see Darth. Hold on. Let's see Darth.
And it gets
Let's
a little
see
bit
Darth.
more in depth.
I'm covering him up.
See,
hold on.
in PvP,
there we go.
There is a theory, and I have never got this confirmed, but I mean, I actually believe this myself, because if you actually play PvP and you straight up notice this, that there's sort of an MMR rank, and it tones you to that MMR rank. The theory is that resonance effectively dictates where you are in the PvP.
Exactly,
ladder.
yes.
So it's not about how you're playing, it's not about your score, etc. Which is why you can go 0 kills, 50 deaths, and still gain 50
Exactly,
points.
I just said that, right? I just
win
said
rate
that.
While still winning and climbing the ranks in bronze, silver, etc. You have a sort of MMR, and that MMR is associated with your resonance. Combine that with the fact that in the shop, you can basically just go to the shop, you can click on the Moonlight Trove, and I can just spend $200 and factually just purchase a gem that's going to be a 4 or 5 star gem. If I didn't have a 4 or 5 star gem, I've just purchased flat resonance, and that resonance is statistically making me a quote-unquote better PvP player.
Yes.
And I'm not talking from the skill aspect. I'm saying factually from if we look at the leaderboard.
Yes.
Once I go play, regardless of how I perform or if I win or lose,
100%.
I will still climb that Battleground leaderboard. I mean, look at me. Okay, bronze 1, I could lose
Whoa,
every single
100%
game and still
bronze
make
1.
it into legend. Like, your win rate doesn't matter in this game. What matters is your resonance. How is it possible that the number 1, the number 2, the number 3, 4, and 5, the top 6 players, this is the top
number 2 is
6
Jon
rated
Snow.
players,
You can't kill Jon
all have
Snow.
less than a 50% win rate? How is that possible in this game? So here's what Blizzard basically doesn't want you to know.
Okay.
That PvP doesn't matter. In this game, if you think you're good because you're up on the leaderboard, that's a joke. If you actually think that if you play the game better, you're going to climb more ranks because of it, that's a joke. PvP does not work that way in this game. The way you will climb is by having more resonance. And if you spend money, there's an argument to be made.
So wait, he's saying that every time I hit legend was just because I swiped. Maybe I don't disagree with that. But they got to reward the whales somehow. You got to reward people who pay.
Because we can't see the algorithm, we can't say for sure that they own patents that when you spend more money, factually give you a better odds of winning before the game even starts. Now, I'm not talking because of the power associated with spending that money. I'm talking because of the algorithm privilege that you get for having been someone to spend money in the game.
Algorithm privilege. See, remember those words. Algorithm privilege, people. That just means there's a mechanism in place to reward you for spending money. You spend money, it pushes you up higher on the list. We know about other mechanisms in the game, right? We know when you are so far behind the group you're in, you got a higher chance to actually get green or legendary items. We know those things are in place. So why wouldn't they have it in place? That if you give us cash, you buy things in an item shop, you move up the ranks quicker, you get rewarded. They got to give you some kind of reward, some incentive, or no one would ever use the cash shop. I'm 100% with you, DM. I know it exists, but I'm just saying it has to exist because people would not spend if this was not in the game. Can you imagine spending $100,000? You're going to be JT. Do you want to spend $100,000 for pure cosmetics and then you get whipped around the battleground? No, you spend the money so you can win.
So the real thing about this game is if you want to enjoy PvP, go enjoy PvP. That's fantastic. You do you and have a good time.
Okay.
But two things.
What?
One is we need a non-resonance variant of PvP.
Exactly.
Like
exactly. That's what I just said. We need a balanced arena, just like they had in World of Warcraft. That's a Blizzard game. It had the same. You had an arena where you could put all of your gear on, all the big honchos can go in there and own everybody. Then you had a separate arena where everyone was on an equal playing field. It was literally skill versus skill. Thank you. Thank you, DM. Thank you.
Biofilm where we can go and fight, but where resonance does not matter. We need a leaderboard not associated with resonance where your win rate literally matters. We shouldn't have the top 6 players all have less than a 50% win rate. I've had a 30% win rate and been in some of the top players before. That doesn't make any sense, okay? And then the other thing is, if you go into the match and you're shit-talking people, telling people to get good at PvP, that's only ever embarrassing for you. I've seen this multiple times now, where I've gone into it.
Okay, don't say any names on Blood Rhyme server. Do not in the comments mention who's the one who's always doing that. Let's not mention them. Those guys are cool though. I like the Olympic group. I like all of them. I like Rosaline. I like Fatal Paladin. We're all talking about on my Blood Rhyme server. I like all the whales, guys. They're just people like you and me having fun, throwing a couple dollars around to support the game. But I'm 100% with you. We need something in place so normal people can move up the ranks. The balanced arena. Blizzard, steal it from World of Warcraft, your other game. Put it in this game. Keep everything like you have, and then just add another arena ladder. Balance, where we don't have gems. We don't have anything. No, you already have it in place. You know where? Fractured. You start off with nothing. You build it up from what's available in that little tiny closed box. You could do it exactly like Fractured. You have 2 teams picking their things as they go up, just like Fractured. Do it, Blizzard. You can do it. All right, go ahead. Wrap it up, Darth.
A match and I see people shit-talking the other people in PvP. If you are doing that, you are the one who is being embarrassed at that moment. That's all I want to say. I love y'all. See you on the next video.
Okay, thank you for joining me, people. We've had our reaction to Darth Microtransaction. Darth, once again, thank you for allowing me to share this on my channel. People, hit subscribe. I've seen like 4 out of 2 people haven't hit the subscribe button yet, but you're watching the videos. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you can be updated on the things to come. This is Savadious, and I'm signing out.